You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello and welcome to another episode of Unstoppable Actors. I'm so glad you could tune into this one because it is going to be so informative and insightful, and I hope it inspires you and makes you think differently about scenes. Obviously, we're going to be diving into the ways you need to stop playing scenes and what you need to do instead. Because what I want for you is that within your acting, you are bringing more vitality, inspiration, clarity, expression, and sharpness. Now, these are 5 key areas that we always look at in method acting. We always want these 5 key areas present in scenes. But what usually happens is scenes are played flat or on one level. And I'm going to go into this with you. I'm going to give you lots of examples of how this usually manifests, how it expresses itself, so you can be aware, almost like a bit of a checklist, and you can go, oh, actually, am I doing this? Oh, yes, I am, or thankfully, no, I'm not. And then I'm going to share with you how you can overcome this as well. Now, before I do, I want to ask you if you have got your place inside of the Method Actors Circle. This is an opportunity to get one-on-one coaching, to develop your scenes, so you're not playing them on one level and you're not playing them flat. It is low-cost, affordable professional method acting training where everyone gets that one-on-one time that I've already mentioned, a supportive community, and will also get the exercises they need to allow them to grow. So if you haven't already got your place, you really ought to, because there are some juicy bonuses that are available at this round of enrollment. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You need to go and have a look on the website and check them, because I think you are going to absolutely love them. I know they're going to make the biggest difference to your acting career. I'm just going to wrap this little section up by sharing some feedback from the Method Actors Circle from Eileen, who says, you are so good at explaining and creating a safe space. It shows how invested you are for each and every one of us. And the fact that you gave us different exercises shows how much you can see what we need. The exercises you gave me helped me so much, and I had no idea what I needed. So if you want to experience that, and I can share as well that Eileen's gone on to get cast in commercials, how exciting, while she's been a member of the Method Actors Circle. So if you want that for yourself, then go ahead, click that link underneath this episode, go and check out what your extra juicy bonuses are, and come and join, because we will get your acting to such an amazing level that you will be getting cast before you know it. So let's go back to scenes then. So they're usually played flat or on one level. How does this manifest itself then? It's when an actor is trying to sound natural and trying to make the words sound natural and as if they're talking conversationally. And whilst I understand where that comes from, it's absolutely nothing to do with the human condition. And you've got to always remind yourself that as an actor, when you're getting yourself into a scene, when you're preparing a scene, when you're performing a scene, you are showing the human condition. It's like Stanislavski said, we're holding a mirror up to society. And society does not go around talking, trying to sound naturally. Society goes around behaving, trying to get what they want, what they need, trying to navigate the challenges of life, the ups and downs of life. That's the human condition, but trying to sound natural, it isn't. It comes from a fear of not wanting to be hammy and dramatic and over the top. But really, and I say this with kindness, trying to sound natural is just as bad as hammy acting, because there's no truth in either. So the next way that a scene can become flat or on one level is by defaulting to one emotion. And that could be anger, aggression, feistiness. That's usually what I see. That's the one that's the easiest to hook into for the majority of actors. And I've seen this time and time again over the past 13 years of me coaching actors of all levels. So it's defaulting to an emotion. And that's not good, because we don't just feel one emotion in a scene. Emotions take us on a journey. So they might start at one point, and then they might peak, and then they might dip, and then they'll go somewhere else. But that doesn't even mean it's the same emotion, because emotions can change. Emotions are complex. So hooking into one emotion is not great, because the scene just gets focused on one level, and it's a bit of a turn off for your audience, because it becomes chaotic. There's no clarity in it. And remember, clarity was one of the 5 key areas that we focus on in scenes in method acting. If you remember those 5 key points I gave you at the beginning of the episode. Then the next example of a scene either being flat or on one level is when there's not much happening until a big emotion. So you play it naturally, conversationally, and then a big emotion comes out and boom, you whack into that, and then it has nowhere to go. And then it goes back to conversational. It's not truthful. And what we're aiming for in method is to tell the truth under the imaginary given circumstances. We're always trying to answer the question, how do I create truth when everything around me is fake? So the other night, I was practicing some songs on the karaoke. This is just one of my hobbies that I love to do. Actually, one of my friends was having a karaoke party, and I thought, I want to sound like quite decent on it. So I thought I'd get some little practice in first. And this is what made me think about this episode. And it's what made me think of you, because much like a song, if that's on one level or it's flat, it becomes boring and it's not engaging, is it? And so singing is the same as a scene. We've got to find the peaks and the troughs and the nuances. And I want to go through a little list, almost like a checklist with you, of what you should be thinking about in your scenes. So I was singing a song called Rolling in the Deep on the karaoke, and I did the piano version. And I had to really listen to the piano, because the piano gets louder, then it gets quieter, softer, more intense, and as I was following the piano, that's when I started thinking, gosh, this is definitely like a scene in acting. There's all the ups and downs of it. So scenes are the same as songs. There's got to be light and shade in them. There are quieter moments, there are louder moments, there are private moments, more public moments. But what I don't want you to get sucked into is just thinking of scenes as, I need to find the light, and I need to find the shade, just for the sake of it. You've got to do it with intention. Your character wants to affect the other character or the other characters who are in the scene. So when you start finding these private moments, public moments, louder, quieter, softer moments, you're not doing it just so you go, the scene's nuanced. You're doing it from that place of what the character wants. You're doing it from their intentions. And that's how you start to create truth when everything around you is fake. Now, the other thing when I was singing Rolling in the Deep on the karaoke is I was thinking, if this was actually to an audience, and it was just me practicing to myself, if this was to an audience, what would I want as the singer? And I would want the audience to feel the raw emotion. I'd want them to see themselves in the words and the experience. So the song became more than just words. It was the colour and the feeling behind the words, and the gusto and the points that I wanted to make, and the moments that I wanted to draw my imaginary audience into. And that's exactly the same with scenes. And that's why we don't want to default to this trying to sound natural. Because when you try to sound natural and just focus on how you're saying the words, you miss the colour in the scene. You miss the gusto in the parts of the scene that need it. You miss the intimacy and the privacy in the parts of the scene that need it. You miss drawing your audience in, and that's what it's always about. Drawing that audience in so they come on that journey with you. And you can only do that when you tell the truth. So one way for you to start learning how to tell the truth is to get feedback on your work, is to get the exercises that you know that you need as an actor, or maybe you don't even know that you need them, but for someone to point out and say, actually, if you use this exercise, such as private moment or personalization or substitution or effective memory or rampaging, then you would find that truth. So you need someone to tell you which exercise you need so your scene becomes full. And you can get that inside the Method Actor Circle. As I've already said at the beginning of the episode, it's low cost, it's very affordable, it's professional method acting training where everyone gets one-on-one time, they get the exercises that they need, they get a supportive community around them who are going to help cheer them on. But also off the back of it, you're going to start getting cast, just as Eileen did, who I spoke about, whose review I read at the beginning of the episode. So go ahead, go and join the Method Actor Circle. It's the best thing you can do for your career right now. The link is underneath the episode. And I hope this episode has also got you thinking about your scenes as well. And I hope it's inspired you. And I'll see you in the next one. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you. And I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode. And I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials. The Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.